Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, but today I'm going to talk about my journey with dental anxiety. Um, I am 26 years old and I hate the dentist. And when I say hate, I mean I have a fear of the dentist. So let's talk about it. Basically, I have always hated the dentist. Everything about it. Everything has been so daunting. I was just always so scared. I just remember when I was a kid, always panicking, always hating it, always crying whenever I had to go to the dentist, which wasn't that often because of the way I reacted. um, I had bad teeth as a kid as well, which obviously doesn't help. You know, being a kid, no kid wants to brush their teeth. So my parents had that battle. So unfortunately, when I was a kid, I did have to have 5 baby teeth removed, I believe. And I always have that memory of being taken to the place where I was getting them removed. And the last thing I remember was panicking, crying, screaming, and having I think 4 people just stood above me trying to get me to calm down so they can go through with this procedure to get my teeth removed. That was the last thing I remember. Obviously, I had it done. I can't remember anything after that, but that memory has always stuck with me, and I've just always hated the feeling of anything to do with the dentist. Um, I think after that, I didn't go back to the dentist for about 15, 16 years, maybe even 17 years. I did not go back to the dentist. And in that time, I had a lot of plaque buildup, I had 2 rotten teeth. But the reason I went back to the dentist, because yes, I have been back to the dentist in my adult years. I paid the price for it, but I think the start of 2023, so it's almost been 2 years now. I had to go back because my wisdom tooth was causing me issues, and obviously, if you don't get your wisdom tooth sorted, then it can cause you a whole heap of problems. So, so obviously the panic started setting in again. I had to go through the dentist again. I remember that appointment was literally just a checkup, but I had a full panic attack. The dentist was absolutely lovely though. I pre-warned them because when I my dad helped. My dad had to help me, um, because no dentist was taking on new patients, and obviously because I hadn't been to the dentist in over 15 years, I got taken off lists. I didn't have a dentist, but unfortunately, because it was my wisdom tooth, so my dad had to help me. He had to call up his dentist to see if they had gaps because they were only taking on, I guess, people that they know were actually going to turn up because they couldn't afford people to just not turn up, like get put on a list and then not turn up to their appointments. So it took us a while for that. And then my dad was like, look, very, very bad anxiety. So we need a dentist who's completely understanding of this and is willing to go slow. And thankfully, I think I got the best dentist I could ask for. I was having a panic attack in his chair, and literally, every 2 minutes, he would make sure to give me time to breathe. He would just stop, he would check in with me. I think I was. I think I was there for 40 minutes for just a basic checkup, just to get through it, basically. But he was lovely. He gave me a stress ball as well. He talked me through it. He told me everything that was gonna happen before it happened. Um, and yeah, I probably cried for half an hour and I had a full panic attack in the middle of it as well. But he was completely understanding, and he guided me through it, which was absolutely amazing. And then he started to tell me all the problems I had and what I was needing done. So the first thing he suggested was getting referred to a specialist dentist so that I could get the work done under IV sedation or fully put to sleep, depending on what that dentist wanted to do. So basically, he was like, yeah, you've got some plaque buildup, you've got 2 rotten teeth, which I did already know about, um, and we need an x-ray for your wisdom teeth to see, I can't remember what it's called. Is it impacted? Is that what it's called when it's kind of like growing into your teeth rather than straight up, I think? Because it was my bottom right one that was causing me issues. So, yeah, so first, he booked me. Cinder's on the move. What are you doing, Boopy? So he booked me in to get an x-ray done, a full x-ray. So it was the one where it goes like that around you, so that we could see all of the teeth to see if there was any other problems. Then he referred me to somewhere else specifically for my wisdom teeth. And then the x-ray got sent over to them. So I was in like 3 different dentist places at this point. It was kind of funny. What are you doing, Cinder? They did warn me actually as well that the wait list was really long. So, so I had to have frequent checkups to make sure it wasn't getting worse, because obviously if it got worse, then I had to get put higher up in the list. But so I went and got the X-ray. That was fine. Then I had my other appointment for like the initial assessment to see what the specialist dentist would do, and they said, okay, we'll send you somewhere else for your wisdom teeth because we don't do that. Fair enough. But they would take care of the 2 teeth and the plaque buildup. So we got all that sorted, and they were like, right, we're gonna suggest IV sedation. So essentially, you're awake, but I don't want to say like loopy or anything. But they were like, but 9 times out of 10, the people don't remember what happened. I was like, you know what, cool. As long as I have no memory, I don't care. So the first appointment was the wisdom tooth. That one came around first. That was the 3rd of August. So March, April, May, June, July, August. So like 6 months later, I got my wisdom tooth appointment. So it was really early in the morning as well. And they said I had to try and eat. But another thing is, I have medication that I need to take, and I need to take that on an empty stomach. So I needed to be awake at like 5 a.m. I did not sleep, basically, because of my severe anxiety. I couldn't sleep. So I had no sleep that night. I could hardly eat. And then I remember getting there, freaking out, obviously. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I actually do know what's happening to me while it's happening? So they got me in the chair, and then I just started panicking straight away. Like, my breathing went funny. I was crying, shaking, my heart rate. They were worried about that because they had to put that thing on my finger. And they were like, okay, we're just gonna give you the IV station straight away. You need to calm down. Like, okay. So, what did he do? First, he started the back of my hand. He could not find the thing. So then he had to go into the corner of my arm, I think, and he found that one. Fantastic. And then I remember he gave it to me, and all I remember was like the ceiling going wobbly. And then the next thing I remember is being at home. So I can confirm I have 0 memory under IV sedation, which was amazing. But my poor old dad, because he asked me prior, he was like, do you want me in the room? And I was like, yes, in case I do know what's going on. He's like, right, okay. So he was in the room while my wisdom tooth was getting extracted, and apparently, even under IV sedation, I still panic. Apparently, I stopped breathing as well. Because I don't like stop breathing and pass out. I mean, like, I hold my breath because I'm panicking so much, because I don't like what's being done. And he said, yeah, they have to stop so many times to get you to breathe again because your levels were going everywhere. And I was like, oh gosh. So even under IV sedation, I was still panicking. I was having panic attacks under IV sedation. You rubbing your face against my book. It was it was actually cute though, because one of the dental assistants come up to my dad and she was like, "Look, you don't have to be here. She's not gonna remember. She doesn't even know that you're here right now." And my dad turned around. He was like, "No, she wanted me here, so I'm staying in this room with her. I don't care that she doesn't know that I'm here. I'm staying." I was like, "Oh, but yeah, I have zero memory." um, and my dad was like, "Yeah, they had to get the drill out. They had to drill into my wisdom tooth to get it out, to like hook it out or something." He said he had to drill a hole and then like hook to get it out because although it was like impacted. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you which wisdom teeth I had. Sorry. So my bottom right was impacted, if that's the right thing, where it was pressing into my teeth. I have one on the bottom left. They left because it was growing straight up, not causing any issues. So they just left that. And I've got one, I can't remember which side, left or right, that just hasn't even come out. So they're just not even bothered with that one, which is fair. So yeah, sorry. So the bottom right one, they had to drill and hook out because obviously it's like a healthy tooth, but it was obviously growing wrong. So to get it out, they had to do that and yank it out. And apparently, the dentist, I'm not going to say like panicking. Dad described it as he was a bit frantic because obviously you've only got a certain amount of time under sedation and before it starts wearing off, before everything starts wearing off. So he was like throwing rags around and being like, "Get me this, get me this," and he was like, he said the room looked like a mess. Um, to try and get this out before I could start like feeling anything or remembering anything again. Um, and then I think Dad said at like the end, like so obviously I had the thing in my arm. He said that like they took it out and then one guy was told to like hold my arm up or something. I don't know why. And Dad was just like, okay. And then I have like this very, very mild memory of getting in the car and that's it. And then I start remembering my memories when I'm at the house. And I remember getting back and I remember I asked my dad a question and he turns around and he goes, "For the 10th time, I'm going to answer this. Please remember it." And I was like, "Oh, what?" So he was like, "Yeah, like, for the whole journey home, you were asking the same thing over and over again." Oh, but bless my dad. Thank God he had the patience. But that was kind of funny. But but yeah, even under IV sedation, I panic and I hold my breath and I stop breathing. Bless the dentists. Um, tell you what though, recovery from a wisdom tooth removal is horrible. Um, thankfully I could still chew over this side, but you can't eat solids for like 4 days, I want to say, in case anything gets in, and obviously because it becomes infected. So I was on like soup and jelly for days. And then even after that, even for like another week, it's still really tight and obviously it's still painful. So you can't really chew a lot. But I'm glad I had the IV sedation because I do not remember a single thing. I would not have been able to do that without it. It sounds like I couldn't even do it with IV sedation. I mean, I did it, but so yeah. And then the next appointment rolls around, which was 15th of November, which is the two teeth getting pulled in November. So that was a 3 month gap between those two. I remember going there. People were lovely. All of the dentists I met were absolutely lovely. I remember going there, still panicking like crazy, getting in there, and then she applied the numbing agent onto my gums first. My entire mouth went numb and I could barely talk, and I was like, oh god. But unfortunately, that room was a lot smaller, so my dad couldn't stay in the room with me then. But I remember panicking a little bit when she started the IV because she did the first injection. She did it in multiple injections, which panicked me because she did the first one. I was like, okay, I'm not getting a wobbly ceiling. I don't like this. Am I going to remember this? But then that's all I remember. I remember her giving the second one, and then that was it. So she gave the IV sedation slower than the first dentist. But again, I have zero memory. As far as I'm aware, they told Dad everything went good. 2 teeth got pulled out. They didn't do the cleaning though because I was panicking too much. They didn't want to put me under any more stress, even though I was already under IV sedation. So they couldn't do the teeth cleaning, which is fair. They wanted to prioritize the teeth pulling. Um, but again, I was panicking under IV sedation. Glad I don't remember it. And then 2024 has pretty much been concentrating on cleaning my teeth because I had to do that conscious or like without sedation. Because obviously it's just a clean. They don't want to give you an IV sedation just for a cleaning. So I had to do that. Fully aware. Not fun. So I think it took 3, 4-ish appointments. It basically took like the whole of 2024 to clean my teeth because they would do like a few months gap in between just so it wasn't all at the same time. So I think they did like 3-month gaps when they were doing the cleaning process, something like that. So I did. So the first one, I didn't want the electric thing that they use with the water because that was too much. Because they had that, then I'd have to concentrate on the water, but then they have the suction thing, and I'm like, no. And then there was like 2 people above me, and then I started getting flashbacks to like when I was a kid and the people stood above me. I already can't do this. So he was like, right, should we just use a metal scraper? So we just used a metal scraper. So I think it was like a half an hour appointment of just constant scraping my teeth to get the plaque off with a metal scraper. It was like nails on a chalkboard. It was like he was inside my skull. And obviously, I had to keep stopping because it was a lot. So I had to keep stopping, sitting up, and like breathing and stuff as well. So we did that to get the majority of it off. Fantastic. The next appointment, I asked, because it was mainly gone, I asked if we could try the electric one but without the suction, and then I'll just use the sink. He was like, yeah, sure, let's go for it. So then we did another clean, like a big once over again with that, which still took half an hour and was still horrible because that thing was like, instead of nails on chalkboard inside my head, it was like nails on chalkboard inside my ears because of the sound it makes. It was like a very high pitched, squeaky, electric kind of noise. My appointment just gone was in December. I'm not sure when I'm going to post this. December 2024 was just a checkup. And so, something I completely forgot to mention. I also had gum disease. I had gum disease, obviously, at the beginning of this as well. So, you know, when you go to the dentist, they give you all the numbers like zeros, no blood, and then it goes to a 2, I think. I don't know if it goes any higher than that. But before, I was like 2s across the board. So now I had a bunch of zeros and I had like a couple ones. And he was like, this is really good. Keep going with what you're doing. We pretty much eliminated the gum disease. We obviously need to keep up with it because obviously it can come back, obviously. But so essentially, so pretty much it's taken 2 years for me to get a wisdom tooth out, 2 teeth pulled, a deep clean of plaque multiple times. It's taken me 2 years to get through this journey. And obviously 2 trips with IV sedation and stuff. But I'm very proud of myself. I am now. I'm now obviously brushing my teeth every single day. I'm using mouthwash every single day. I've got the flossers. This is definitely something to kind of kick you in gear of brushing your teeth, because I also dealt with I've I deal with a lot of health issues. I've dealt with mental health issues my entire life. I went through a really bad depression before I was diagnosed with my health issues. That really didn't help. So I went through a long period of time where I barely took care of my teeth. But because of my fear of the dentist and everything that I've been through the past 2 years, I don't want to go through any of that again. So I'm definitely taking care of my teeth a lot more now. Even if I'm exhausted, even if I'm going through a really bad fatigue day, I will still use mouthwash. At least. At least I can do something. Or if I don't have the energy in the morning, I'll make sure I brush my teeth at night. Even if it was just once a day instead of twice a day, it's something compared to what I was doing, which was like, God, I'd probably be lucky if I brushed my teeth once every 2 weeks or something. Maybe even longer, depending on how bad the depression weeks were. And I kind of just I kind of just wanted to like make this video so people know they're not alone, not to be embarrassed. You can get help if you need it. You're not alone. It took me a lot to like prepare myself to even go to like my dad and be like, okay, I'm having trouble with my wisdom tooth. I'm scared though. I'm terrified. But I need the help. I need someone with me. My dad was there with me through every single appointment. I'm 26 years old and I'm not ashamed to say I needed my dad. Not ashamed. I needed someone. And that is okay. Because I know that I wouldn't have been able to do it alone. That's okay too. But I'm at the point now where I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure I take care of my teeth so that I don't have to go through any work again. Because obviously, another thing is dental is very expensive. So there's that too. But you're not alone. There's probably so many people out there with dental anxiety on so many different levels. And I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted this out there. Like, you're not alone. This was my experience. This is how I got through it. Struggles are out there. People struggle with many variety of things. I struggle with a lot due to my health, physical and mental, and I've always had dental anxiety. I still do. Now, don't get me wrong, my checkups are a little bit easier now that I don't have problems. It's literally like 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of being uncomfortable, checking my teeth, checking the health of my gums, um, compared to however long it takes to pull out a tooth. So, yes. So, I'm probably not gonna have any need to make another video about dental anxiety. Um, Maybe if anything else does happen with my teeth, which I really, really hope don't, then I will about my experience and whatnot. But yeah, I'm kind of taking a different direction with this channel. I've posted about my health in the past, about my chronic illness and stuff, which I do want to post more about. I have some ideas, because that is a daily thing for me that will be for the rest of my life. So I kind of, after everything that I've been through the past 2 years with my dentist, I just kind of wanted to make a little chit chat, share my experience, share my fears, and just let people know that they're not alone if other people have dental anxiety too. If people have questions, I can try and help answer them. Yeah, that's basically it. But that's everything I had in my notes. Oh, one thing that really, really, really did help me is invest in an electric toothbrush. Um, because that was one of the first things my dentist recommended, is because it actually helps you do a lot of the work. So, like, yes, okay, you obviously have to do the work, but it does a lot of it for you. And it's been really great. It has a timer on it. Make sure you get a timer on so that way you know how long you've been brushing for and it tells you. You could also get ones with different pressure sensitivity so it can tell you if you're pushing too hard, which was amazing. I get a very specific mouthwash. I use the Oral-B one because I think it's specific against plaque prevention to help with that. I just use some basic flossers to make sure that I don't get plaque buildup in between my teeth anymore. I think that is everything that I wanted to say, but I just wanted to share my anxiety. Because I know I'm not alone, but I know there won't be a lot of this on the internet. Maybe. So, you're not alone. You can do this. It takes little steps, but you've got this. Took a long time for me, but I'm very happy with my teeth now. So, there we go. So, I hope this has helped anyone in any way, shape, or form, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.